there. So we're making sure that we can create a foundation for the rest of the day. And that is, it's fluidity, but it's also ease. And I want to express that is that oftentimes when we go to our yoga practice, and I do this all the time, is like, oh, I'm tired and I don't know if I need to do this practice. Keep in mind that you can manipulate your practice in a way that supports your body. Meaning that energetically, if you're a little tired, you can still practice, but you can do a lot of child's poses. You can just kind of skip poses, and that's all okay. In fact, it's better than okay, because if that's the case of how you're practicing, you never stop and say, I don't feel like practice. Meaning that you can always do practice, and you can lay flat on your back and just kind of listen to what's going on as well. So I want to make sure that we are moving through ease, not only through practice, but because we're settled into these times. We've been now isolated for more than 2 months. And so we're really, as humans, we're really hard on ourselves and get a lot of stuff done, task driven, all these different things. And I'm here to tell you, you guys are doing enough, right? So I don't want your practice to be another thing that you need to be doing, right? So make sure that this is something exactly what you need. So if that's gentle, make it gentle. If it's a little bit more powerful, that's always available as well. Cool? All right, so let's stand on up. I usually follow that speech with, okay, handstand. All right, so we're gonna awaken body, and we're going to support ourselves in doing less. So we're going to start really slow and really mindful. And that starts with just a little bit of shake of the hands and pressing right foot and left foot like you're kind of like marching. And then you're going to kind of shift your hips out right and left. And then you're going to kind of do like little side bends. So you're just going to kind of push the ribs out. And you can even move the head a little bit with it as well. And this movement from side to side is this awakening up the kidneys. It's good for your immune system. So as you kind of move from side to side, you're just going to kind of feel it. And then you take your right hand to your right hip. You're going to reach your left arm up, and you're just going to do the same kind of thing, but now a little bit slower. So you're just going to kind of dive into that side bend. So you're focusing on a couple of things. You're focusing on the left side of the body, space between the ribs, but you're also focusing on the right side, like bottom of the right ribs towards the right hip bone. So there's a little bit of power on that inside of that side bend. And then inhale, come on up. Take your left hand to your left hip, reach your right arm up. And then you're going to press that left hand into the hip as you give yourself a little bit of space in the right side. And so you may start to find that there's some differences right side, left side, and that's pretty normal. And then create some space and length on the right side. And if you're going to focus on the left side, it's like left ribs to left hip bone, and you kind of squeeze the side body there. Inhale, take your right hand down. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Bend and straighten your elbows a few times just so you get a sense of what's going on. And while you're there, you can move the head a little, so you can kind of play a little bit with the neck. And then once you're fairly comfortable here, release the hands, give them a little shake again. Take both arms up towards the ceiling. And then hands come to heart center, a little bend in your knees, and then you're just going to hinge slowly at the waist. Take your forearms to your knees or thighs and just rest here for a moment. So you're just resting the arms on the knees or the thighs, and then you're just going to shift the hips from side to side. You can straighten one knee, then the other knee, so you can start to feel the hamstrings and the backs of the calves, maybe the glutes. And then you're going to slowly draw your hands all the way down to the floor. Now, with both knees, you're going to bend and straighten, just so you can kind of get a sense of both of the legs together. And then you're just going to step your right foot back, drop your right knee down, point your right toes. Hands come up to that left thigh, and if you need a little bit of support in that right knee, slide something soft underneath it. Hips sink forward and down, and I want you to bring your awareness to your lower back. So if it starts to arch and have this big curvature, bring that belly in and tuck the tailbone. And then I want you to vacillate towards the sensation and away from it. So you're just going to kind of go back and forth, and we're just kind of waking up that right hip flexor just a bit, not too much. Once again, we're just trying to figure out what kind of practice we need. All right, hands down, surround that left foot, roll over your right toes, lift your right knee, and then step your left foot back into down dog. So lift your hips on up. Bend your knees a little bit to take the hamstrings out of it. Belly comes towards the thighs, tuck your chin. And then pedal right knee, left knee, kind of like you're pedaling, riding a bicycle. Wag your tail a little bit, shake your head. And then just step your right foot between your hands, drop to your left knee, point your left toes, hands come up to that right thigh. Support the left knee again if you need. We're just taking care of the other side. And then you're going to ease in and out of that sensation. And you're making your adjustments the entire time. In fact, through your whole practice, you are modifying in a way to find this intimacy with body. Once you find that spot that's just right, you can give yourself a breath, or you can continue to move. All right, hands down, surround that right foot, and roll over your left toes, and then you're going to step your left foot forward. Inhale, come halfway up as you flatten through your back, lift your chin, lift your chest, kind of like you're looking for the horizon. And then a little bend in the knees, belly towards the thighs, release your arms. Give yourself a breath or two here. And once again, bend and straighten knees so you can feel maybe the connections from the hamstrings to the glutes. Take the hands to the mid-thigh, bring yourself up halfway, and then really slowly bring yourself on up. If you didn't eat lunch, you could get a little lightheaded, so I want to be careful here. Shake out the arms and legs. You probably get a little sense of what's going on with the backs of the legs. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, lift the chin, lift the chest. This time, let's interlace our fingers, swivel the palms up, squeeze the biceps towards the ears. And without a back bend, you're going to draw your arms back. So I don't want you to push the hips forward. I want you to tuck tailbone, draw the belly in, and then drift your arms back. This is all shoulders here. And then just gently side bend to the right. And you may feel this through the palms, through the wrists, through the forearms. And I want to kind of take care of the hands a little bit. We use the hands so much when we're on the computer typing and the mouse and all that stuff. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, side bend to the left. Press that hip out just a bit. Breathe. Awesome. Back to center. Unfold your fingers. Lift your gaze. Hands come through heart center, and once again, a little bend in the knees, fold forward. No rush. Release your arms, tuck your chin, and soften. Inhale, halfway up, flatten through the back, lift the chin, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands, walk your feet all the way back to a plank, and then lower your knees down for supported plank. There's a difference between supported plank and table. So in supported plank, we have a nice big angle of the thighs. In table, we're right underneath the hips. And then we're going to slowly lower to the floor. If you're ambitious today, you can stop halfway down. Eventually finding yourself all the way to the floor. Squeeze your legs together, point your toes, press through your feet and hips. Lift chin, chest, and hands. The elbows are like squeezing the ribs. The shoulders are drawing down and away from the ears. You're trying to lift your heart up as much as you can. It's your lower back that's going to show up. Hands come down, chest and chin come down. Soften the lower back for a moment. Feel gravity. And then bring yourself on up to table now. So you're going to draw those knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders, and you're going to just start to wag from side to side. So you're pushing your hip out so you can feel a little bit in the glute. And you're just going to go right side, left side. You're going to think a little bit more about fluidity more than anything. And then once that's feeling pretty good, we're going to drop the belly a little bit and lift the heart and chin, right? So now we're like in a wagging cow pose. You're scooping the tailbone up a little bit. And then we're just going to keep wagging. We're going to go into cat pose. We're going to tuck the chin, and we're rounding through the spine, kind of like a Halloween cat. And we're still wagging. We're going to feel the spine, the lower back, maybe the shoulder blades. And then bring yourself into neutral spine. Knees come a little closer together. Straighten your right knee. Keep your right toes onto the ground and push through your right heel so you feel it in the calf. Now, this is the different parts of the practice where you can use more or less. So if this is good for you, stay here. But if you need more, you can lift the left knee off the ground. And how much you lift it off the ground is up to you as well. So maybe it's just in maybe ½ inch off the ground. Maybe it draws towards the belly. You can round through the back. You can make this as powerful as you would like. And give yourself one more deep, full breath wherever you find yourself. If the knee is off the ground, lower it down. And then you're just going to bring your right toes off the ground about 1 inch or so. So this right hip bone is still facing towards the floor. That means your lower sacrum is square to your mat. Now, roll your right ankle, wiggle your toes, and flex your foot. Bend and straighten your knee a few times. And then bend the knee so the heel's towards the hip. And then try to take your toes and touch the top of your head. Let me see if anybody can get there. Yeah, this is like, the distance between my foot and my head is like 3 lifetimes. And then draw your right knee towards your belly. Not any farther than that, just trying to kind of touch the belly button. And then straighten your right knee and extend. Now, if that's feeling pretty good, you can do that. We're going to do that 2 more times. But if you want more, you can extend your left arm out in front of you. And I give you a lot of options because I'm not sure exactly where you are. All right? So if you need that, do that. And then on your exhalation, knee towards the chest. Maybe the elbow comes in and touches the knee or the thigh. Inhale, extend and lengthen leg and or arm. And we're going to do it one more time. Knee towards belly, chest, or elbow comes in. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Right knee bends again, heel towards hip. Left hand reaches back if it's extended. And you're going to see if you can grab the foot. If you can't, you can just stay here. If you can, press the foot into the hand, lift the thigh, lift the chin and chest. One deep, full breath. All right, if you have the foot, let it go. And then draw that right knee towards your right arm. And then you're going to step your right foot on the outside of the right hand. If you can't get there, you can move around, right? So I got to scoop my body a little bit to the left so my foot stays on the mat. And then we're going to sink the hips forward and down. So full extension of that back leg. And then you're going to make sure this right ankle is in front of the right knee. So you may have to scoot it up a little bit. Come onto your heel, lift your toes up, and then roll your toes out 45 degrees as you rest the foot down. Now, really strong ankle, almost like it's frozen. You're going to roll onto the outside of that right foot as that right knee drops open. And then from here, you're just going to move a little bit from side to side. Sensation is going to be IT band, right hip, right groin, kind of this whole region of the body, as well as your left hip flexor. Your hands can do a couple things. They can stay right where they are underneath the shoulders. You can lower your elbows down to a floor or a block or a bolster. So if you can't get to the floor, you may go halfway down. If you're needing a little bit more, you can take your right hand, you can slide it behind your back, and you can twist your torso to the right. That's going to get you a little bit more intensity. Oh, so I see a lot of people like that one. So I'll give you one more option if you want it. Bend your left knee, and with your right hand, reach back. That's a doozy. So right shoulder draws back, heart is lifting. Give yourself one more deep, full breath wherever you find yourself. Awesome. Exhale, let your left foot go if you have it. Take your right hand to your right thigh, and you're going to root down through your right foot and scoot it towards the middle of your mat. Now your hands are going to be surrounding your right foot. Draw your hips back, right knee gets straighter, 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 until you can feel a little something in your right hamstring. I'm going to give you options here as well. So you can stay right here. Right knee does not have to be straight. Sensation is what I'm kind of going for. It's either hamstring, back of the knee, calf, or glute, somewhere in the back of the right leg. If you can't hang out here, if that left knee is bothering you, you can shift your hips all the way back and lower your hips towards either your left foot or a blanket or a bolster or a pillow. So this is available and you can lean forward. Your last option, if you're really open through hips, is you can move into a variation of a split. So you can extend this left leg behind you as you straighten your right knee. So this is an option as well. So you got all these different variations. Wherever you are, you're trying to square your hips towards the front of your mat. So right hip draws back, left hip draws forward, and then you're softening or pressing the torso towards the right thigh. And you got one more breath. All right. Slowly, this is not an easy asana to get out of. You're going to just start to walk your hands forward. You're going to bend your right knee to get your right foot onto the floor and then roll over your left toes, lift your left knee, and then step your right foot back. Now the movement is up to you. You can go right into down dog. You can go into table pose, you can go into child's pose, but if you need movement, you can move through chaturanga. So you can go knees, floor, cobra, kind of like we did last time, or you can go halfway down up dog, and then either find yourself in down dog or any restorative pose. So I'm giving you a lot of options because if you want to move, you can do push-ups, you can kind of peel through the chaturangas. If you don't need it, don't do it. One more deep, full breath wherever you find yourself. And when that breath is done, you can just get your feet to your hands, however you want to get there. You can walk, you can step, you can float. When you get there, bring the weight to your heels, soften your toes. Inhale, come halfway up, get some space in the spine. And then exhale, fold forward, tuck the chin, release the head. 2 breaths here. So shoulders are heavy, head's heavy. We're getting some nice, fresh oxygen blood to the brain. And then hands to the thighs, lift yourself up slowly. And then rotate your palms towards the front of your mat, Tadasana, mountain pose. You're just gonna press right foot, left foot, maybe shake out the hands. Get a sense of where you are, a little internal dialogue. How am I doing? Am I moving in a way that supports my body? If not, you got another option to move in a way that supports you. All right. Hands to heart center, a little bend and straightening of the knees. Inhale, arms reach up, lift the chin, lift the gaze, maybe a back bend if you are warm enough. Exhale, hands through heart center, no rush. Release your arms, tuck your chin, soften. Inhale, come halfway up. None of this stuff is fast. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands, walk, step, or float all the way back, top of a push-up. So you can do the same thing we did that last time. We can go knees, floor into cobra, or you can go halfway down up dog. So you're in up dog, which your thighs are off the ground, or cobra, hips are down. And then ease yourself into table pose. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Support the knees again if you need it. A little wag of the tail. Maybe a round or 2 of cat-cow. A lot of this stuff is inventory. How's my back doing? How's the strength of my arms, my wrists, my feet? And then once you're comfortable, knees a little closer together, straighten your left knee. Keep your left toes onto the ground. Push through your left heel so you feel it in the calf. The option again of lifting your right knee off the ground is up to you. So you can go a little or you can go a lot. A breath or 2 wherever you are. If that right knee is off the ground, really slowly lower it down. Lift your left toes off the ground, about an inch or so. Roll the left ankle, wiggle the toes, flex the foot. Bend and straighten your knee, maybe shake it out. And then we're going to do that little challenge of the day. Left heel towards left hip. Lift the left thigh. Now left toes try to touch the top of your head. You should feel something from chin all the way to belly button, maybe even to the left knee, quadricep, all that region, and then draw that left knee towards the belly, just kind of like trying to touch the belly button. And then inhale, straighten that left knee and extend the left leg. Now you have that option. Right arm could extend out in front of you for spinal balance. If it ain't working, keep the hand down. On your exhalation, knee towards belly, chest. If you're extending the arm, elbow towards knee. Inhale, extend, lengthen, lift. Last time, exhale, round and squeeze. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Now bend that left knee, heel towards hip, right hand reaches back. If you can grab it, go right ahead, push the foot into the hand, lift thigh. If not, hand stays down. You can kind of play with the leg and do whatever you need to. So breath or two. If you have the foot, let it go, right hand comes down. And then take your left knee towards your left arm, and then step your left foot on the outside of the left hand. And then adjust your body. So you may have to scoot a little bit to the right. Full extension of this right leg so that right hip draws forward and down. So you get really nice and long. It's a little bit more for the right hip flexor. And then check out your left foot. I want to make sure the ankle is in front of the knee. Come onto your heel, lift your toes up, roll your toes out 45 degrees and rest that foot down. Now with a strong ankle, you're going to roll onto the outside of the left foot and then drop it down. So what I want you to be careful of is the collapsing in the ankle. It looks a little bit like that rather than flexing the foot. So I want to make sure that there's nothing in the joint that you're feeling, right? And if you are, flex your foot. So ankles in front of knee, left knee draws open, shift your hips from side to side. Options, elbows down for a little bit more intensity. You have that option for the twist. So left hand to left thigh. You can roll that left shoulder back, heart lifts, chin and chest. You can do this also with the elbow, right elbow down. So keep that variation. And then left hand could slide behind the back. And that last option, right knee bends, left hand reaches back. Oh, that's a doozy. Woohoo. Breath or two, wherever you are. Now, for me, holding my left foot like this, a right foot, a little too much. So one more deep full breath. If you have that right foot, let it go. Everyone take your left hand to your left thigh, and you're going to draw that left knee back towards you. You scoot your left foot back to center. Both hands around your left foot. Draw the hips back. Left knee gets a little straighter. It's hamstring. It's back of the knee. It's calf. It's glute. See if you can feel it all. And I'm talking about flexing the foot to feel it in the calf, to feel it in the back of the knee, to feel it in the base of the hamstring. But soften or press enough where you can feel it in the glute, the connection of the hamstring. Now, your options are the same here as well. You can draw the hips all the way back so it rests on the heel or towards the floor, depending on the knee. You can even slide a block underneath that left hip if that supports you, and you can lean forward. And you can also move into a variation of a split. So right leg extends and straightens as you kind of just dive into that pose. So left hip is drawn back, right hip is drawn forward. We're softening or pressing the torso towards the left thigh until I feel enough, and can be a very intense pose. So keep in mind, we're not trying to fix anything. We're just trying to feel as much as we can without stress and tension. All right, really slowly come out of this one. So you're going to scoot your hands forward. Try to get that left foot down, roll over your right toes, lift your right knee, left foot steps back, down dog or plank or chaturanga or child's pose or table pose. So if there's an asana that you need to rest in or move in, do it. And you got 3 breaths like 3 really slow, mindful inhalations and exhalations. And then when you're ready, you can walk, you can step, or you can float your feet to your hands. Inhaling, coming halfway up, flattening through the back. Exhale, surrendering as you soften. Inhale, gently come on up. Reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Swivel your palms open. Nice work. Shake it out. Let's do a little balance pose. So we're going to do dancer pose. And one of the things I just want to kind of bring your awareness to in dancer pose is your shoulders. And if you've taken my class a lot, you've heard me talk about this. It's about the rotation of your right arm. We're going to be doing dancer on this right side. So one thing I want you to try is I want you to try to internally rotate your right arm. An internal rotation is the tricep towards the body, so you're rotating the palm away from you, right? This is a weird thing for a lot of people because this feels like external rotation. So when I say internal rotation, arm towards the rib cage. Now, another difficulty is that when we do this, there is a little bit of pressure through the front of the shoulders. So when I do grab my foot, and I'm gonna have you try to grab the inside of the foot. Now the problem is that this is a little bit different than what we do all day, which is this, right? Texting and driving and computer driven, right? So what I see is like when I ask for this inside of the foot, I see this a lot. That's exactly the opposite of what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for this with the shoulder back in here, okay? If that hurts, keep the hand on the outside of the foot, all right? So what we're gonna try is internally rotate and try to grab the inside of the foot or ankle or wherever you can grab. If it hurts the shoulder, don't do it, okay? Cool, okay. So if your balance is funky, make sure you have access to a wall or a table or a chair, a small child, a bigger dog would be nice, maybe a pony, or Mary Kay if you have your horse. So we're gonna now root down into the left foot. Now, another thing before we get into this, when we lock a knee, oftentimes the quadricep is soft. So if you're gonna come into this pose and you're gonna lock this knee, engage the quadricep. If you can't do it, micro bend, right? That'll give you a little bit more stability, okay? But this is end up being like a dancer pose tutorial. All right, so let's try it. So spread your left toes nice and wide. Press down then that left foot. I always like to come onto my right toes just to make sure that this leg is like, it's awake. From here, you do the internal rotation with your right arm and see if you can grab the inside of the foot. If it hurts the shoulder, come onto the outside, all right? If it feels all right, take your knee and bring it underneath your hip. So your hips and knees are all stacked. Your left arm reaches up or you grab the wall. Push the foot into the hand and lift the thigh up just a little. I want your hips to stay square, and I want you to roll back this way. Hips and shoulders square, left arm is reaching up, and then the torso is kind of like an up dog. So you're lifting heart and you're hinging forward just a little. It doesn't matter to me how high the leg goes, but if you're pushing the foot into the hand, it'll automatically lift the thigh. And then bring your awareness to that long, strong left leg. Is your quadricep engaged, or are you locking the knee and just hoping that you stand, right? So if you bend, it's a little bit more of a challenge, but it's really strong, right? So when you bend, you can actually kind of move around a bit and kind of hold on. This is why we call it dancer, because you're kind of moving. Give yourself another breath or two. Big inhales, slow exhales. I'm just checking on everybody's hands. All right, cool. Slowly bring yourself on up and release that right foot. Shake out that left leg. Everybody's shoulder okay? Right shoulder? Cool, cool, cool. Okay, awesome. Before we go on to the next side, roll the shoulders up towards your ears, peel them back, down and forward. And then let's keep the neck malleable, so move the head a little. And then shake everything on out. So keep in mind, dancer pose, there's not an expectation to be like, no movement, right? You want to stay malleable. So I want you to even try to move a little, right? Instead of trying to be still, I want you to kind of play around and see if you can find a little bit of an edge. All right, let's try the other side. You may have a difference in the shoulder. So if that rotation's not working, you just hold the outside rather than the internal rotation, okay? So spread your right toes nice and wide. Real strong right leg. And then do that rotation with the hand. So tricep towards body, palm swivels open. If it's available, grab the inside of the left foot. And then take the left knee and draw it underneath that left hip. Now you're going to push foot into the hand. Reach the right arm up or to the support. And then lift the thigh, but keep the heart open. Okay? You don't need to drop the torso, right? That's just because you want to get the leg up higher. Now, strong right leg. If you're really steady, see if you can move a little bit. Like drop the hips, square the hips, bend and straighten the knee, come a little bit farther forward, press, get taller, do these things, right? And if you fall out, it looks like this. No big deal, the world doesn't fall apart, right? And then you go back into it. And a breath or two. We usually hold our breath when we are balancing, so see if you can keep breathing, and then slowly come on up, release the leg, shake out the right leg. Awesome, press right foot, left foot, little wag of the tail, shake out the hands. All right, my mat's all rolling up here. All right, let's come to the front of your mat. Hands to heart center. Now we're gonna move just a little bit more. Inhale, arms reach up, lift the chin, lift the gaze, little back bend if you need it. Exhale, fold forward. Once again, think fluidity, smooth. Inhale, halfway, flatten, lengthen, lift the heart, chin and chest. Exhale, bend, plant, walk, step, float. Top of a push-up, either knees, floor, cobra, halfway down, up dog. So any movement that's working for you. Exhale, down dog or table pose. Breath or two. Feet a little closer together. Right leg lifts on up. Shake out the right leg, bend the knees, stack the hips, make big circles. Do whatever you would like in your three-legged dog. And then when you're ready, step your right foot forward between the hands. Swivel your back foot to ground down. Warrior one, arms reach up. So shoulders are square to the front of your mat. Left hip is trying to draw forward. Right knee is bent. Ribs and belly draw in. Tuck the tailbone. And then bend your elbows. Hands and elbows draw back. Take your right elbow underneath your left elbow. Either grab your shoulders or right hand grabs left wrist or palm. Elbows up, shoulders down, hands come away from the face. And then sink a little bit more into your right knee. If you're needing more, hinge a little bit at the waist so the elbows hover over the right knee. If you still need a little bit more, swivel the torso a little to the left and drop that right shoulder inside the right knee so the forearms and the hands are coming towards the floor. Inhale, come on up slowly. Unwind your arms and twist to the left. Warrior two. So the arms are parallel to the long edge of the mat. That's it. Right knee presses out towards right pinky toe. Tuck the tailbone. Now squeeze your heels towards one another. That's going to wake up your groins. And it's going to give you some length in the torso. Swivel your right palm up. Drop your left arm down your leg. Reach your right arm up and over your right ear and sink a little bit more into that right knee. Bend your right elbow so the right hand finds your left ear. So it's like you're cradling your head. Take your left arm behind your back so the left hand can find waistband or around the right hip or maybe grabs the right thigh. And then you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Susan, take your right arm up and over your head. Take your left, there you go. You can take that left hand to your waistband or your right hip bone. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. I don't need your hands to come together, Susan. So here, you're here, not here. I don't need that, right? You can be here. Yep, awesome. Right knee straightens. Lift the torso on up. Arms open up nice and wide. So right knee straight, right toe straight ahead. Left hip draws back. So you have this kind of like motion with the hips, right? And then you're going to reach the crown of the head to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. And you're going to stretch and extend forward. Right knee is straight. Right quadricep is strong. Drop your right hand down. Let it dangle. Give it a shake. And then press the back of your right hand inside the right leg. Left arm reaches straight on up. Next, this is triangle pose. One deep full breath. All right, look down at your right big toe. Bend your right knee enough to get both hands down. Step your right foot back. Plank. You can slide into down dog or you can move through chaturanga. Knees, floor cobra. So once again, whatever movement is working for you, do that. And then we're going to take care of the other side. So pedal feet and knees. When you're ready, three-legged dog. So left leg lifts on up. The knee can be straight. It could be bent. You can make big circles. You could stack left hip on top of right hip. You can shake it out. You can squeeze it towards belly or legs or whatever you would like. When you are ready, warrior one. Left foot steps forward. Swivel your back foot. Arms reach up. Settle into the pose. So find it. Move your feet around. Bend and straighten that left knee. And then the elbows bend. Hands and elbows draw back. Left elbow underneath right elbow. Grab your shoulders. If you want eagle arms, backs of the hands together. Left hand grabs right wrist. This may be plenty. You can stay here. But if you do need more, you can come forward. So elbows away from the chest. Maybe over that left knee, or you can even swivel to the right. Drop that left shoulder inside the left knee. Nice smooth breath. And then come on up. If you are hinging forward, unwind your arms, twist to the right. For my warrior two, I got to open up the stance a little bit. So check out the left knee. It should be tracking right over the ankle. So there's a tendency for it to drop in. So press it out. Tuck your tailbone, draw your belly in, swivel your palms up and down, move your shoulders a bit. And then swivel your left palm up. Right arm just kind of dangles down the leg. Left arm reaches up and over. So you reverse warrior. So you sink low into that left knee. And then we're going to do that kind of opening of the heart. So bend your left elbow so the left hand finds the right ear. The right hand just slides behind the back. So it could slide in the waistband, it could slide around the hip, and you're just going to squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. That may lift your chin, lift your heart. One more breath. Awesome. Straighten that left knee. Lift your torso on up. Arms open up nice and wide. Right hip draws back. Extend the torso forward as you reach. And then just drop the left arm down. I'm never worried about how far that hand goes down. So stacking shoulders, stacking hands, gaze can be over the right thumb. Left knee is straight as you can get it. One deep full breath. Awesome. Look down to your left big toe. Bend that left knee enough to get both hands down around your left foot. Roll onto your right toes. Let's do pigeon left side. So left shin comes down, left foot in alignment with right leg. Drop your right knee, point your right toes. So a little shift from side to side. Is everyone's left knee okay? Thumbs up. All okay, all okay. Okay, cool. All right, nice. All right, lengthen through torso, so get tall. You're gonna feel a little bit of length through the belly. If you don't feel enough in your left hip, scoot your left foot forward and then square the hip bones again. And then when you're ready, either knees to block, bolster, pillow, or floor. If you need more, lower heart, chin, chest towards the floor. I'll give you one more, excuse me, option. If you're still needing more sensation and your left shin is parallel to the front of the mat and you're just not feeling enough, you can thread the needle. This is the right arm slides underneath the left arm, so like behind the left tricep, and you're gonna rest on the outside of your right shoulder and right cheek. So there's a twist to the left. You can take the left hand down to press and twist more, and then you're softening. I only really want you to come to that pose if you're just not feeling enough. And then you got 2 breaths. We're not here long. It's once again, it's an inventory. It's like, okay, this is where my sensation of my hips are. A breath or 2, soften. Right hip is heavy. Jaws relaxed. All right, slowly hands under shoulders. Gently lift yourself on up. Roll to your left hip, sweep your right leg around. We're gonna do a twist. So let's take that left ankle on the outside, or sorry, right ankle on the outside of the left thigh. So you're trying to get the right foot down to the floor. Right hand to the floor by the hip or by the spine. You got a couple options. You can take the left hand to the right knee, and you can twist. You can take the crease of the left elbow around the right knee and twist. Or you can take that left elbow over the right knee and twist. Each one has its own like little nuance sensation that's a little bit different. And you can try them all and make a decision in a way that makes the support of the body exactly what you need. One more big inhale, see if you can get taller. Exhale, micro twist if you need it. And then gently come back to center. Take both hands behind you, lean back, unfold your legs, and extend them long, give them a shake. Like you're playing bongos on the thighs. Give them a little like, thank you legs for supporting me all day long. All right, gentle boat pose. We're just gonna bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Hands are to the hamstrings, and you're gonna balance. You'll come onto your toes, and then just slowly flex the feet. You can lift the knees, or lift the shins, you can straighten the knees. You can take the hands away from the legs and find the floor, or you can extend them out in front of you. And then you can move. You got 3 breaths. You can pedal feet. You can twist if you'd like. You can lower halfway down, or you can find stillness. You got 1 more breath. My wife always would make fun of me. She's like, why are you doing boat pose with everybody in class? I'm like, I'm not practicing. Now I'm doing it. Cross your ankles, draw your feet towards you, roll over the feet, plant your hands, slide into down dog or chaturanga to make sure that body is exactly where it is. That gives you that foundation. And once you settle into your down dog, you're gonna find pigeon on the right side. So however you wanna get there, you can lift the leg, bend open and stack. Right shin comes forward. Alignment-wise, right foot is in alignment with left leg. Hip bones square to the floor. Doesn't matter where the shin is at. It's the sensation in the hip that will dictate, so you can scoot it forward. And is everyone's right knee okay? Thumb up. Right knee, right knee, right knee. Cool. All right. Lengthen through torso, elbows down, a little shift from side to side. Keep in mind, right side, left side, probably different. Lower all the way down if you need it. And then if you need that twist, you're going to thread the needle. So left arm behind the right arm, and give you a sense of this. I can't even show you this pose. I'm so tight in my right hip. But if you're going into it, you're going to rest on the outside of the left cheek and outside of the left shoulder. If I do that, oh my God, I'll have to go to the hospital. So I'm not going to do that. Nobody wants to go to the hospital right now. A breath or two here, right? And why hip openers are so important, in addition to opening up through the body, it's a way to connect with emotional body, which a lot of us are, well, all of us are being traumatized because of the situation that we are in right now. So we have to know that it may be subtle, it may be intense, but there is some emotional baggage we are collecting in the body. So give yourself another breath here. Surrender the best you can. Nice work. Hands under shoulders. Really slowly bring yourself on up. And then roll to your right hip. Sweep your left leg around, and we're going to do that twist. So left foot's trying to find the floor on the outside of the right thigh. The ankle is as high as you can get it, so you're going to use your hands for leverage. And then the left hand comes to the floor. That's going to give your spine a little support. And then you got the same options with this right arm. So right hand to left knee as you twist. Crease of the right elbow around that left knee as you twist. Right elbow over left thigh as you twist. The work is the belly. It's lower belly. It's like below belly button. So we're drawing the belly in as we massage the vital organs. And it does have a little something to do with the lower back, maybe a little bit of the left hip as well. There is restriction on the inhalation and exhalation, so see if you can deepen that breath just a bit. One more round. Nice work. Slowly come back to center. Hands behind you, lean back and straighten those legs. Give them a shake. And then you're going to find your way to your back. So you're going to slowly lower all the way down. Once you get down, gently draw the thighs towards the belly as you give yourself a squeeze. If you're feeling like you need more, you can slide the arms in between the legs and grab the bottoms of the feet or the ankles. And then you're going to separate your feet as wide as you can. Draw the ankles up over the knees or that direction. And then you're going to invite the knees down towards the floor by the rib cage. And then if you still need more, invite your tailbone towards the floor. Rock a little side to side, bending and straightening the knees so you kind of feel that sensation in hamstrings, hips, glutes. And give yourself two more breaths here, movement or stillness. And when you are ready, Shavasana. Heels find the corners of your mat. So you got a little bit of space between the legs. Externally rotate your thighs so the lower back starts to soften and open. You can use pillows, blankets, bolsters, blocks, in any way, shape, or form that supports the body. Once you get settled in, tuck your chin, close your eyes, and soften your jaw. Maybe even drop the tongue off the roof of the mouth. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out the mouth. And then relax the arms and legs. Your belly, your chest, muscles on each side of the spine, so the body becomes very relaxed and soft. Relax the senses. The jaw, the eyes, the nostrils, the inner ears, all very relaxed and soft. See if you can allow the thoughts to be like white, fluffy clouds where they just kind of float in and float out. Each moment melting into the next moment. You are exactly what and where you need to be. Each moment is perfect as you are perfect. No adjustments, no corrections, no nothing. Just be here now. There is no better place. And just rest. If your Shavasana is working for you today and you would like to stay here for a little while longer, by all means, you can stay here, and no worries about ending the session. So you can just kind of hang out. But if your day is waiting for you, very slowly deepen your breath. And start to awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and ankles, and gently rocking your head from side to side. Extending the arms up over your head, stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes, get really nice and long. And on your exhalation, draw the knees towards your belly, chest, wrap your arms around the legs, give yourself a little loving kindness as we suspend the judgment and critique of ourselves, pretty much to give ourselves a break. Right arm reaches up over your head and gently roll to your right side. Give yourself a moment to acknowledge your body, to acknowledge that you made it to practice today. One of the hardest things is to get to the mat. And the opportunity we have to move through the rest of this day mindful of our bodies, subtle sensations, and take action in a way that supports our needs, not just a few, but all of them, because we deserve it. And our friends, family, loved ones, and the people we support need us at our best. Softly pressing your hands into the floor, gently bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. And with a nice long spine, soft shoulders, tuck your chin a little. Take the hands together as a metaphor of our connection to all things. Thumbs come towards the heart as we're open to loving kindness. And take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Thank you guys so much for being here, sharing your practice, your presence, and your power. Have a beautiful day, and namaste. Nice work, yogis. I'm going to stop the recording here. Nice.